What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So we're looking at the Game Pass strategy, right? And slowly but surely, this thing is starting to garner some momentum. It always had been gathering momentum. I think people had just forced themselves to sleep on how game-changing this would be in the industry. 2017, when this thing first launched, there was really not much that it had to offer. However, seeing that the acquisition of a lot of these different studios and the amount of content that's about to perpetually stay on this service, and I'm just talking about Bethesda, Activision, and Microsoft games alone, I think Game Pass has now become this juggernaut that it always had been, but now in the eyes of everybody in other platforms, they're taking a look at. On the PC side by itself, there are people who look at the PC games on here and say, hey, this is not bad. I can just subscribe, play what I want, and I'll be out because I'm probably not going to want to own this game. I've seen a lot of people say, I love owning my games. Well, yes, you like owning physical games, but you have to understand that on the PC side, most of us don't necessarily care about that because most of our games are digital anyways. We've accepted the digital lifestyle, so we're not really worried. And that's a huge player base, bigger than the PlayStation player base, almost bigger than both the PlayStation and the Xbox player base together. So Game Pass on the PC side actually has a target audience that is willing to say, at any point in time, if I want this game, I can always buy it on sale. Plus, we have options on PC that transcend the DRM locked Game Pass and Steam titles. We can go on Good Old Games and buy some of these games. We can buy some of these games directly from their publishers if they want to make it DRM free. So that option is also available for us here on the PC platform. So this is where I think Game Pass actually sits and fits in, as well as a service like Steam. So the options are actually quite good for everyone. When you have your Steam, library, when you have your Steam option and you have your, Game Pass option, this provides you something pretty cool. Now, those on other platforms or those who have not found a way to dial into the Xbox platform, the question is, what are you waiting for? Because the cost is, in my opinion, very little to actually enter. You don't necessarily need to buy yourself a Series X. You can get yourself a Series S. You can get yourself an Xbox One and get a Game Pass subscription if you want. Maybe be able to play some games on cloud, but that's an old console. There's no need. You can get yourself a Steam Deck or one of the handhelds, and you're already into the PC ecosystem already without any problems. Now, yes, I wouldn't recommend, if you want to play the Xbox Game Pass side, I would recommend that you maybe go with a Windows-based system, which can basically get you both the Steam library and the Xbox game library. Even though if you want the Steam Deck and say, well, you want it for the Steam Deck, you can still install Windows in a way that actually makes it compatible, and you can get the job done and still play Xbox games or whatever games you would like to play as Windows-based titles. So this is a very interesting aspect. The final piece of this whole conversation that I want to go ahead and add is the fact that the Call of Duty games have not yet landed on Game Pass. There's a number of them that are owned by Microsoft. Now, as to whether or not they're going to land on Game Pass, I think Microsoft's strategy is going to be interesting. I think they're going to add them to monthly or regular Game Pass lineups in little bits and pieces. The drip feeding of these are just icing on top of the cake. What has already done the biggest damage to their competitors, or at least changed the conversation, is the fact that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is already going to be coming day one on Game Pass. It's so interesting because you can pre-install the game. I'm sure this is like a dud, build you're not allowed to play yet, which is insane. And then there's a countdown. So anybody can basically download this app. You don't even have to have a subscription. You can look at what's available here. You can buy what you want, or you can subscribe to get what you want. And then as the other Call of Duty games eventually keep the conversation going and they start getting added on top of here, I think this is where Game Pass is basically going to change the industry in a way that we haven't seen it shift in a long time. This is good for competition. PlayStation has to compete. Now they're on the back foot. This is good. For the longest time, Xbox was on the back foot, and they took drastic measures, $80 or $90 billion worth of drastic measures in order for them to be able to get to this point. Now, I'm not saying PlayStation has to go and spend that much. They don't have that much, but there are things that can be done for their own consumers and their customers to make their platform attractive. But that's pretty much it for me. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. Appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.